Hello and welcome back to Efficient Pipe Design. In our previous section, we generated a couple of part families, one for our rectangular parts and one for our valve parts. So in this section, we're going to be adding the dimensions to these items so that way they appear in model space correctly. But before we do that, we need to come in and make sure we have some information in front of us. First and foremost, I'd like you to think of these things as Lego pieces. I don't know if you played with Legos as a kid, but I sure did, and I love the way the building blocks just came together. But to get these blocks to come together properly, you need to do some research. You need to research your parts. You need to identify the outer dimensions of these guys so that way when you add them in, this is going to be the graphical representation of the 3D model of the part that you're trying to add. We will be working with the out-of-the-box part catalog and just modifying those values by going in and editing the values in the areas. That's why it's so important to have your items written down. Makes the data entry so much easier. So let's go ahead and dive in. Got my Civil 3D open and ready to go. I'm going to come over here and go into my modify portion and go into pipe networks and go to my parts list and back into part builder. As you can see, there's the two families that we generated yesterday, one with the rectangular, the other with the circular. I'm going to first modify the rectangular structures. I'm going to open it up. It's going to open up this pane to the side. I'm going to right click on the size parts and go to edit values. Within here, there is a lot of 3-letter acronyms, 4-letter acronyms, and so on, each with a different meaning. When I first opened this, I was very intimidated. However, if you hover over these items, you can see what exactly they are, such as the inner structure width, inner structure length, rim to sump height, and so on. We will be making some modifications to these based on our part piece, but we will be focusing on the widths and lengths of our parts. To add pieces or modify, you simply click in the area and it will activate this box up here that we select for edit. And as you can see here, I have all the different part sizes that I want in here. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, I have an 8-inch diameter pipe. Yes, that is true. You do want to take in consideration that your part needs to be bigger than the pipe itself. If you make a part size that is 8 inches and your inside diameter of your pipe is 8 inches, there's a wall thickness to that pipe. This really gets into the effects whenever you've got something like a reinforced concrete pipe. So keep that in mind and make the dimensions larger. This is where that research comes into effect because it will tell you, in fact, that my 24-inch pipe really needs to have a structure that's 26 inches. So you can come in here and just click on the add button and start adding new values as you want, or if you want to make a modification to one, you can click on it and make that modification. You want to do that both to your width and your lengths, as this will represent your part in that fashion. I do want to call your attention to the SRS, which is your rim to sump height, and the SVPC, which is your vertical pipe clearance. I have these pretty much set to their minimums. This helps in the cleanup later on whenever we're actually applying the rules to the pipes and the structures as they go through. So once I've added the portions of the sizes that I want to see, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and now I'm going to modify my circular structures. Within Part Builder, I come again and click on the Part Builder, and I want to go into my circular structures, modify those. Again, doing the same thing, coming over to the size parameters, right-clicking, and going to the edit values. Now, being that it's circular, there is no lengths and widths, but we do have the inner structure diameter. Again, selecting here, coming up to the modify or the edit tab, and adding the part sizes that I need to show, or the diameters. Again, having the data in front of you makes things go so much smoother. Once this is done, you can now save and close your drawings, and you now have these within your library. In the next section, we will be coming in and utilizing these part sizes by generating the catalogs within our Civil 3D.